One thing I've noticed is if you take a look at the liquidity, lots of the liquidity has been leaving the DEX, but in terms of the blockchain itself, like the TVL is still looking pretty strong in terms of like where it used to be. So I think people are starting to move their liquidity away from PulseX, but keeping it on the chain somewhere. So with that being said, like I think lower liquidity assets, it makes it harder for people to like dump their coins into because you face more slippage. And when people buy up the coins, which is what we're hoping to happen, prices usually pump more because when there's less liquidity, it's easier to like double the amount of coins that are in the pool, which 4x is the price. So I think before when PulseChain launched, you had like 40 or 50 million dollars in like the wrap pulse DAI pair. Now it's closer to 12 million. So liquidity is thinning out on PulseX. You're still able to get good order execution. I don't think there's anything wrong with the amount of liquidity there, but it just goes to show like we remember back in the day on V1 and V2 Uniswap Hex, like the liquidity it wasn't very much, and that's really what caused a lot of the volatility and a lot of the price appreciation. Was when you have people coming in with like hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars, and they're buying into tiny liquidity pools, you're going to impact price quite a bit relative to like a Ethereum USDC liquidity pool, which I think has like $160 million of liquidity off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly, but it's like it's quite a bit of liquidity on Ethereum for Ethereum itself. But yeah, I think there's plenty of ways that you can make money over here on the Pulse chain. I think liquid loans also launched recently. I really like the whole idea of liquid loans because I think last bull market you had a lot of people like I guess you had 35 people to be exact at least paying off their parents' mortgages with Hex. Now that we have liquid loans, people could theoretically take out loans against their Pulse and use that to pay off mortgages. Not sure if that's the best idea. You'd have to like figure out the best way to like to use it, but we have these options, right? And I think it's absolutely insane and imperative that we have these DeFi protocols on Pulse Chain because these are important. These are there. I bet you there's going to be people coming in to this ecosystem just to use some of these DeFi protocols because they're so simple and easy to use, and it's just a free chain. Like the fees are so low and stuff like that. Like I think Liquid Loans has opened more vaults than its Ethereum counterpart already in like 2 or 3 weeks or so. So doing really good stuff. And even when you look at I think I might have brought up this point before, but if you look at Amazon and Jeff Bezos, he talked about how his stock went from $116 to $6 or $113 to $6. And he said during this period of time, all the internal metrics were looking up. So number of customers, number of orders, number of like I guess like number of volume, like all that kind of stuff. All the internal metrics were looking good. It was just the price chart that didn't reflect the company. And I'm not saying this is a company, but what I am saying is that the price chart is not really reflecting what's going on in the ecosystem. And we have, like I said, we have the best community, and I think it's going to go to show in this bull market. And we're going to see I think we're going to see a lot more people paying off their parents' mortgages with Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX. Fingers crossed, right?